Hello, this is Jill at Bouquet House. I'm so excited to be able to play with these Spellbinders dies today. They came in a couple weeks ago and I've been dying to try them out and do something new with them. So here we go. The first thing I did was run the die through the Big Shot machine 3 times, so I would end up with one that I could cut up and 2 more to stack up together, and you'll see how it all comes together a little bit later. By using a metal shim under my clear cutting pad in my machine when I use intricate dies, it makes it a lot easier to cut them in one pass. In order to color the blooms in all kinds of different colors, I thought it would be a lot easier if I cut them off and color them individually. So this is what I'm doing, being very careful to just leave the greens alone and just cut the blooms right off. Once the blooms are all cut off, I'm going to take the 2 pieces that are intact and glue them together or stack them together to give it a bit more of a 3D effect. So this is what I'm doing. And then I'll go on to color the blossom in their own colors with oxiding. Before I start on the blossoms, I decided to color the twigs and the branches and the leaves in twisted citron as well as blended sage a little bit on the edges. There's no particular technique to this. You're just putting oxidings onto the different die cuts that have been cut in pieces. So I'm going to put on some music for you and then you could just watch the whole process. The colors that I've used are on the blossom are warm lipstick, candied apple, wild honey, spice marmalade, mermaid lagoon, broken china. And there's a list of the supplies anyway at the end of the video. Now that the blossom have all been colored, I'm busy attaching them to the base. I've used the removable dots for that. You could use any adhesive that you like. I wanted to add just a little bit of shimmer, so I'm using the Wing of Stella just in the clear so it goes on every color and you don't lose your color. But make sure that you clean up your tip in between each color because the color is not dry yet and it does react to water. I hope the camera is able to pick up a little bit of that shine so you can see how nice it is. Now we're moving on to the panel. I'm trying to figure out how everything is going to work together. And I secure my panel down, of course, so it doesn't move. And putting some antique linen oxiding very lightly. You just want just a shadow in the back. And apply the ink in a direction of the stencil because it's very delicate and you don't want to mess it up. At this point, I decided to attach my flower to the panel. You don't have to do that. You could do your stamping first, but you sort of need to know where the stamp is going to go. So that's why I did it this way, but there's other ways of doing this. I'm using the stamping platform because when you use oxiding, you need to stamp more than once to get full coverage. I don't know about you, but I always have trouble finishing off my cards so they look totally complete. And this one was no exception. I wasn't sure how to do it, and then I decided to just die cut some tiny little heart and add glossy accent to them. And it seemed to do the trick on this one. I was able to match the color of the stamping with the color of the hearts by just taking white cardstock and putting the same color of ink, distressing, to it, and then die cutting it. To make it easier to add the glossy accent to the little heart, I wanted my card to be flat, so I added some removable dot inside to keep it together. Well, thank you for visiting with us today. I hope you've enjoyed this little card. And if you like our YouTube videos, please let us know by subscribing or leaving us a comment. Thank you very much.